Hey guys, this is BurtBot, and today I'm going to be doing a review video of the Asiahorse 120 millimeter fan. Um, I haven't actually seen a lot of information about these fans. I hadn't even heard of Asiahorse until I had gone on Amazon and was shopping around for fans to put in my case, and ultimately, I came to Asiahorse because the fans were on sale for, I believe, what, nine ninety nine. So about 50% off, and they market for about the same price as every other competitor fan. But since they were on sale, I was able to get them for pretty cheap. And I honestly wanted to test out the fan because there wasn't a lot of information out there about the fan or its capabilities or reviews on it, how well it performed, stuff like that. So I figured I'd take the chance and buy them and see how they operate. And I use the Asiahorse fans in multiple configurations. I have these four, which are on the side panel of my case, and they just bring air into the case. Mostly, I just have them for an aesthetic reason, because my GPU and my CPU are liquid cooled. But I also have the Asiahorse fans set up on my radiators for pulling. I mean, the radiator is set up for push-pull configuration, but the Asiahorse fans are set up in the pull portion of that setup for both the GPU and CPU radiator. So I'll show that a little bit later on, but right now I'm just going to focus on the features that the Asiahorse fan markets as. It's marketed as a ultra quiet, high pressure fan that's suitable for normal use, for just pulling air into the case, and also for radiator use. So, like I said, I do have them used for both types. These fans are, I mean, they're honestly like very comparable to the competitors. So, honestly, through testing, through being able to use these, I've had them for about a week. I've had them running 24/7 for a week, which obviously for the lifetime of a fan isn't very long. But in this case, I haven't had any issue with noise. So they definitely are quiet. They are a quieter fan, and I will show you what they sound like under different loads, from obviously a very low idle 25% to a 75% to 100%. So they will all be running at a different percentile, and I will show you how they sound in comparison to each other. As you can tell right here, the fins are pretty cool. There's a lot of fins, so these do move a lot of air, a lot of fins. And now on the back side of these blades, there are little vanes to help pressurize the air, make it quieter, move the air better. As far as how the cables are run to the edge of the fan, it's pretty similar to every other fan that I've ever had. It's got one of these brackets right here, or in this case, this one right here, just has a little cable management groove that goes to the edge underneath one of the corner mounting brackets, and then they pop out here. And as you can see here, I've got all four fans running the cables to the center portion, and then they go into my case. The pins for connecting are pretty basic. I mean, they're the Molex connectors, the 4-pin, and then they've got these 3-pin connectors right here, if you can see that. 3-pin connector, 4-pin connector. And currently I have all of my fans running to two different fan controllers. I have one fan controller that controls these four, and then another fan controller that controls the radiator fans, and then the 230 millimeter fan in the front. As far as like the actual material here, it's all plastic, but it's very sturdy, solid plastic. There's no real like for you to move this, you really have to push it down. So that's really good. So the way where the fan is mounted is really secure, really um, stiff. There's no wobble when the fan operates, and I'll show that when I turn it on. The the LED ring is mounted really well, and it's got these little grooves that you can see right here to hold it in place. So the LED ring is pretty secure in there. It's not going anywhere. When you get the fan, it comes in a really basic box, just a little brown box that fits the fan, and it comes with a business card from Asiahorse, which I don't think I have. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so when you open the box, it comes with, a little, pretty much a business card that tells you how you can contact them and for any type of issues to contact them, which is pretty cool. And then the box itself is just, like I said, a basic little cardboard box, nothing fancy. And then what's inside is pretty much just the business card and a set of these little rubber gripping pads to help buffer the fan from the actual mounting surface. So in this case, this is a metal mesh, and there's little rubber pads that prevent the fan from vibrating on that metal and making additional noise. So you do get rubber little pads for every single corner of the case. And then it comes with 4 screws. It does not come with radiator screws. It only comes with normal mounting screws. But as far as how they screw in to the actual frame of the fan, it was smooth. I had no problems. I literally was able to lay all 4 of these fans down and then put my case side on top of them and screw these in without any issues whatsoever. It wasn't hard. I did not have to force it. I literally just put the screw in there and started twisting, and it went in. So, and they are mounted. They're not like, I can literally pick up my entire freaking side case with these fans. So I wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying, as far as mounting and the screws, they're solid. There's no issues with that. There's no rattling. The rubber pads keep it quiet, and there's no gap between the screw and the actual hole. So there's no rattling in that area either. So really solid construction. Really like the green color on the fans. And then when you run the green LED, I have the green LED fans. They come in, I believe, they have blue, green, red, and white. And for whatever reason, the white one is not on sale for as much as the other ones are, but maybe that's because that's their most popular type of fan. But in this particular case, I do have the green LED fan, and it's just the green ring. And then the fins right here are not see-through. They're not transparent, which I don't like fans that have transparent blades or transparent freaking frames. I think it looks tacky, and when you put it in a build, it just does not look right. And I think that ring LED fans are more popular nowadays anyway because of that specific reason. I do have the fans that I had in my case before, and I will show those a little bit later on, and maybe I'll even plug one in to kind of show you the difference in like how they look, because it's a pretty big difference, and I really like the aesthetics that these fans bring. And like I said, these 4 side fans are mostly an aesthetic feature because my system is liquid cooled through 2 separate radiator systems. So, but it was kind of weird to just not have anything on this side grill and just have purple lighting with some green highlights in the back. So I got these, and they do some cooling. Don't get me wrong, where these fans blow is pretty much onto the motherboard itself, where there's a lot of heat sinks. And there's also the memory, which doesn't have a memory cooler on it. So this does cool the memory and the motherboard. So it does do something. It's just as far as like cooling a graphics card and my CPU, these particular fans right here aren't doing anything for that. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and start cranking these fans up so that you guys can see how they function at different different speeds and how they sound. All right, guys. So here's the fans that are set at different speeds. This is at, I believe, 40%. This one's at like 60%. This one's at, I believe, about 80%. So as far as noise is concerned, these fans aren't making pretty much no noise at all is coming from this. I can only hear like my radiators moving water, but that's about it. And then, so as far as them being quiet, they are very quiet, and even at 80% on this fan, and I'll crank it up to 100, there's not a lot of noise, and there's a lot of airflow, so it's really, really nice as far as the sound and the airflow is concerned. So it definitely operates as marketed, and I haven't had any issues yet. And the only reason why I'm not running this fan is because the way that the case lid or the case side is sitting is it's kind of bending the mesh a little bit. And if I run this fan, it'll make a rubbing noise, which is for anybody that's had fans that have made a rubbing or something, like a cable dips into the fan spin, then it's pretty annoying. It's not really loud, but it's definitely annoying and unnecessary. So I'm not running this fan, but it also kind of demonstrates how this fan off 20%, 60%, and then 80%. So, and then also the LED ring is a different color for each speed, which is pretty awesome. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate by cranking the fan up. All right, that's at 80. That's at 80. So now they're all at 80, and you can see that the one sec. Here we go. All right, so you can see, they're all the same color, operating at the same speed. So obviously the LEDs are brighter the faster the fan is going. And I mean, that's pretty much it as far as these fans right here. I'm going to go into showing you guys how the radiator fans are set up, and yeah, that'll be pretty much it. I'll finish up the video by showing you my radiator setup and then doing a external case view of how the fans operate based off of that. So let's go ahead and move on to the radiator setup here. So this is my CPU cooler radiator, and the fans that are on the bottom here are the ones that came with the water cooler. And then you can see the Asiahorse 120 millimeter fans up here that are in the pull portion of the configuration. And they mount to the radiator well, those rubber little pads. There's no vibration, and airflow is fantastic. I can feel it pulling air from this area of my case out that way. So as far as using it for radiators, they work well. So if there's any questions or doubts in your mind about whether this fan is capable of being run for your radiators, there's no problem there. It's moving air very well through the radiator. And you can also see over here on my GPU radiator, same thing, same configuration, no issues whatsoever. I do apologize for the crazy cable shit that's going on with my case right now. I haven't really cleaned it up yet. So but as far as how everything operates and how the airflow moves through this case, obviously you have the 4 fans that would be sitting right about here, blowing air onto the motherboard, graphics card, and being sucked out through the top and through the back of the case And also I have a 130 millimeter fan in this area that's blowing air into the case this way. So it goes in and up and then out through the top and back. And I don't have any cooling issues with this case. Even under load after benchmarking, I still don't have any problem with my CPU overheating or my GPU overheating. That doesn't even come close to the operational temperatures. I mean, the GPU here, this Gigabit Extreme Gaming WaterForce GTX 1080, it doesn't get above, I want to say, about 50 degrees under load. So, and then my CPU is about the same type of threshold there. So there's no cooling issues, especially with all the fans that I have. So, like I said, if there's any doubt in your mind about mounting these on your radiators, don't like be concerned about it. Now, as far as lifetime is concerned, I can't tell you how long the fans will last, but for the practical use that I have them in right now, they work just fine and they're quiet. The loudest fan that I have is the 230 millimeter fan, and it sounds like a goddamn biplane when it goes above 1,000 RPM. But the fans work great. They're silent. They do what they're marketed as, and they operate as expected for a 120 millimeter fan. And so, as far as being compared to other fans, I literally don't have any problem with it whatsoever. I have a Thermaltake 140 millimeter RGB fan, not RGB, but it is RGB ring fan. But and I'll do a little side by side as well as another side by side with the other fan that I was using for this case, and demonstrate that there's no particular thing about this fan that should make you consider other options. I mean, as far as being to the competitor standard, it's pretty much on par with other fans that I have had. So my recommendation, buy it. Buy it for anything. If you just want it for air intake, buy it. You know what I mean? If you want it for a radiator setup, buy it. The aesthetics are great. It operates as intended. So there should be no concern, you know what I mean? There shouldn't be any issue with buying the fan. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount I'm gonna do side by side with the other fans, and then I'm gonna take the case side and remount it, and then show you what it looks like from an aesthetic standpoint. So give me just 1 second. Alright guys, so I wasn't able to actually get my Thermaltake to mount onto anything because I don't have the fan controller from Thermaltake, so I don't have a 5-pin fan connector that I can hook it up to. But you can see I have the Apivia fan, whatever. This fan was the type of fan that I had in my case before, and you can see the difference in style. Obviously, this is your standard type of LED fan right here. As far as performance from this fan, I haven't had any issue with it. I just didn't like the aesthetics of it. I don't like this little vortex looking thing with the clear frame. It just didn't look right with my case. Now, obviously, it's all based off of what your preference is, but I did not like the aesthetics that this fan brought to my case. Whereas this fan, the Asiahorse RGB, the LED ring fan, I keep saying RGB, but the ring LED fan, I like the aesthetics that this fan brought more than the aesthetics that this fan had. So I'm going to go ahead and mount the side panel, and then I'll show you aesthetically how the case is set up, and demonstrate how the airflow works for my case. So just give me 1 second. Alright guys, so you can kind of see as like the aesthetic features of the RGB ring fans. As you can tell here, I've got the purple backlighting, LED backlighting. and then the green fans, and then of course there's LEDs on the inside that are green for accent lighting. But you can tell, right here how good it looks, as opposed to having one of these other fans in there. You can also see the the LED ring fans here and on the side right here too. And I'll also show you on the top. But yeah, I mean, for aesthetic purposes, it does what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's an RG, or it's a LED ring fan. I keep fucking saying RGB. Mentally handicapped, I swear to God. Anyway, LED ring fans, you can tell, I mean, pretty much basic aesthetics. You can see the little brackets that are holding the ring in place. And some fans are just a LED ring without any of these little brackets, but I think the brackets make it look cool. And then there's obviously that little gap that I was talking about in the LED ring, but you can't really tell because of the mounting bracket on the side of the mesh panel here. So overall, really just a really great appearance or aesthetic feature of the fan. I think that they work really well. And they really do help keep the airflow moving through the case. And for those of you who don't know the case is a turn this light on real quick. The case is a high airflow 932 advanced from Cooler Master. A great case if you're running a air cooled setup. Just really great case. I think that the way that the fans mount in there is really cool too. And overall, the Asiahorse fans make the case and the build look fantastic. Really, really nice look to the case. Let me go ahead and transition to the top so I can show you what it looks like from the top. Alright guys, yeah, so there's the top-down view. That's what it looks like mounted on the top of my radiators. You can see the mesh gap between the mounts and the edge of the case here. So it actually adds a lot of lighting effect to the top here, and you can kind of see it. I'll show you in a second, but that's definitely what they look like. You can see the bracket for where the fan's mounted, and that's because it's in a pull configuration, pulling air out of the case. So, yeah, once again, aesthetically pleasing, and as I said before, there's no issue with using them for radiator cooling. And then, one sec, and I'll show you what the backlighting looks like from the case. Alright, so you guys can kind of see it right there, and I'll turn this light back off, but yeah, that's the aesthetics that the fans and the LED lighting bring to this particular build. Very, very nice. Go ahead and show you from this angle right here. This front fan right here is a Bit Phoenix 230 millimeter green LED fan. These are Lamptron fan controllers that are connected to the all the case fans minus the radiator ones. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's, I mean, a little breakdown of the Asiahorse fan. If you have any questions, any comments, concerns, go ahead and let me know. You know what I mean? If there's something I didn't answer, if there's something you would like me to go more in depth with, please feel free to let me know, and I will do my best to accommodate that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.